So hello guys, and welcome to another video, and the last question was, who's your favorite character in Super Mario RPG? So the remake of Super Mario RPG just released, and so far from what I've played, it's absolutely amazing, especially as someone who loves both Paper Mario and the Mario & Luigi series, especially Paper Mario, but there's a lot of really cool characters in Mario RPG, so yeah, let's go through the responses and discuss them here. So Clifford Longhead said, my favorite characters in Super Mario RPG is everyone, including Geno, which deserves to be in Smash Bros. Yeah, Geno is definitely a really cool character, and is definitely one of my personal favorites in Super Mario RPG, alongside a couple others that I'll mention in a little bit, but I really like Geno. Even though his story arc isn't that in-depth, like, it does add some, like, elements to the Mario lore, like, all the way back when the original game released, since they kind of introduced the idea of, like, a star species in the Star Road, which eventually led to Star Haven in different things in the Star Rod and Paper Mario 64, and then even eventually after that led to like the Comet Observatory, Rosalina, Lumas, and Mario Galaxy, which is somewhat connected to this. But Geno is really cool and is kind of the start of how like stars are treated as like a sentient species in the Mario universe. And I just think it's a really cool concept. And then also the fact that Geno, like, serves the higher authority as well, that was kind of expanded upon in Paper Mario with the Star Spirits. So Geno is just really cool, and his design is also cool as well. He kind of has that, like, obviously he's like a doll, that kind of came to life, and it's very unique compared to, like, most characters in the Mario universe, so he kind of stands out as a very distinct character. So I think that's why he would fit so well in like either Smash Bros. Or even preferably for me, Mario Kart or the Mario spin-offs. I would absolutely love to see Geno in like either Mario Kart, the Mario sports games, or even Mario Party. I think that would be really cool. Both him and Mallow would be great reps for the Mario RPGs, along with some Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi characters, of course. But yeah, so Luigi's sidekick said, I know Geno is an obvious choice for many, but Mallow, I feel, is really underrated. He's the only one of the main five that gets some sort of arc, and it's sweet seeing him actually find his parents near the end. Also, his design is adorable. Yeah, I'd have to say that Mallow is definitely tied for me with Geno, like I was saying, as one of my favorite characters from Super Mario RPG. Like, I really like his arc. Like, I think it's written really well, and it flows really well with the story. Like, basically, at the beginning, when you first find him in the Mushroom Kingdom, like, he's kind of, like, he was being raised by Frogfucius, or the Frog Sage in the remake, and thought he was a tadpole, until the truth was revealed to him that he was lost when he was a baby by his parents. That's why Frogfucius was raising him. So he has to go on a quest with Mario to find his parents, and he eventually does in Nimbus Land, and finds out that he's actually the prince of Nimbus Land. So it's really cool to see like him kind of hinting at that, like, or hinting at like finding his parents and everything throughout the whole story, or most of the story, really. Like, there's a part in, like, Star Hill where Mallow finds, like, the wish from his parents, and then also his own wish. So it's really nice to see, like, that whole arc, and I just really like where it kind of, like, his arc kind of is completed with him finding his parents and everything. So it's just a great part of the story, and his design is also adorable as well. He's just like a little cloud guy, or I guess a little frog guy, if we're going with calling him a frog, like, from the beginning of the game. But yeah, Mallow is really cool. So, Stardian said, either Geno, Mallow, Boshi, or Jonathan Jones. Geno, for the iconic role in the story and being a glass cannon that benefits from timed attacks immensely. Mallow for their character arc and because they're cute. Boshi because, come on, their design is the dictionary definition of cool. And Jonathan Jones for both the alliterative name and cool design. Yeah, with Geno, I already kind of touched on the story, but also, like, Geno in battle is really good. Like, especially, like, utilizing the action commands and everything with Geno's different special moves. And they're just really useful, like, in battle and everything from, like, a lot of the ones that I've used, like Geno Blast and Geno Beam. And then, of course, the iconic Geno Whirl, when you use that on Exor. So, Geno is just pretty good in battle. Like, and the stats are pretty good as well, like, in terms of, like, attacking and things. And Mallow, I already mentioned the arc, but, I know a lot of people don't really like to use Mallow in battle, like, most people just switch to Bowser after you get him, but, like, I feel like Mallow, and I'll get into this in my review, but in this remake, I feel like he was definitely improved in battle, because, like, one, like, the Thought Peak, basically, if you want to 100% the game, you're gonna have to use Mallow quite a lot, almost like Goombario or Goombella in the Paper Mario series that get all of the Thought Peak entries. And I would say, I mean, and this kind of goes for the original game as well, I think Mallow has a pretty solid selection of, like, special moves as well. So, yeah, and they can be pretty useful, like, since they definitely have different elemental effects, they can be good on, like, enemies that have certain weaknesses. But yeah, and then Boshi just has a really cool design in general. I mean, you gotta love Boshi. Because, like, whenever they do, like, a unique Yoshi character, they're always, like, really cool. Like, either in the Thousand Year Door with, like, the baby Yoshi that you get the name. Then there's some other examples as well. But yeah, Boshi is pretty cool. Definitely one of the coolest designs in the game. And then Jonathan Jones is pretty cool as well. He actually kind of reminds me of Cortez a little bit from Thousand Year Door. I mean, obviously, Cortez would have been inspired by Jonathan Jones since Mario RPG came before, but it kind of reminded me of it from my playthrough, and also the fact that I love Thousand Year Door, since Cortez kind of challenges you in a similar way to Jonathan Jones, and then also they end up being, like, not necessarily an antagonist or a bad character in the end, because, like, after the battle and everything, Johnny was, like, sticking up for Mario when, he was about to fight, like, Yuridovich, in Seaside Town. So, like, I kind of like that, and I kind of like, that they took the elements from Jonathan Jones and kind of used it to inspire Cortez, as well as, like, some other characters. But yeah, I like Jonathan Jones. So, Snailicorn Sounds said, Booster. He's such a goofy character, and I love his theme. Yeah, I really like Booster as well. Honestly, I'd go as far as to say that he's also one of my favorite characters in the game. He's clearly inspired by Wario, but he's also a little different from Wario as well. I mean, sure, they do share, like, a lot of the same traits, but, Booster is kind of chaotic in a slightly different way. But, yeah, I just really like the story arc of, Booster, going between Booster Tower to, Marrymore, trying to, save Peach. But it's pretty cool. I like how much personality and funny things that are kind of, like, kept in, like, the Booster Tower, like his family, like, showing the different portraits of his ancestors, like, and having to guess them, and then also, like, the snippets that work for him, and the fact that you have to hide behind the curtains when they're trying to find a Mario doll, and they keep looking around, they can't find it, and then also the fact, like, also when you, like, chase after Booster when running up the hill, and then also the picture, like, the cutscene, where Booster or Bowser, hisses Mario instead of Peach, or, like, if you do the mini game in a certain way, it's pretty funny, and I just think Booster is a pretty funny character in general, and I just really like that story arc and whole chapter with him and everything. But yeah. So J to the P Moreno said, Boshi, I love Yoshi, so knowing that he has his own rival, similar to the Mario Bros. Having Wario and Waluigi, is really cool to me. Yeah, now that you mention that, I mean, it's obvious that he's Yoshi's rival, but when you compare it to Wario and Waluigi, that actually opens up a lot of potential for Boshi possibly being in other Mario games. That would actually be a really cool idea, like having Boshi as kind of like Yoshi's kind of rival counterpart thing. So I think that would be really cool. I would really like to see Boshi in like other spin-offs and things. And yeah, like I said, Boshi is a really cool character and definitely a pretty iconic character in Super Mario RPG. So Giant Rash said, I love Bowser in this game. He's not your typical video game villain, but he's just a big goof that wants to get his castle back. Yeah, I always love the games where you actually team up with Bowser, either between this game, Super Paper Mario, Origami King, or Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and then even games where you kind of technically team up with Bowser, but like he doesn't really know it, like Bowser's Inside Story, and Bowser also like, or even any game where Bowser has like a playable role in general is just like really cool, and I really like how they kind of flesh out Bowser's personality in general. Like he just seems much more interesting and a much more lovable character in this game. So yeah, Bowser is just really cool. And I actually like the fact that in like certain parts of the game he actually like treats his minions better. I think that's cool to see from time to time. I mean, I know sometimes Bowser is known for bossing around his minions, but it's cool seeing like them interact and everything. Like with the Goomhild character, like Bowser like forgives them and everything, and Monster Town when they're running the shop, and I just think it's really cool. So Peckneck97 said, really out there, but my boy Croco. I really love crocodile characters in general, and Croco is really fun to me. Yeah, I think Croco is another really nice character as well in the game. Definitely pretty iconic. I mean, not as iconic as the others, but still, it is like cool having like a character like that that like steals from you, and you have to try to go back and try to chase after them. And then Croco also appears like in the Mole Mountains later in the game as well. So, and Croco also has a cool design as well. So yeah, and it's kind of funny in the story, like when Mario and Mallow just like completely beat up Croco over a single frog coin. I mean, I know frog coins are important in Mario RPG, but it's kind of funny over like Mallow's just like, my coin! I need to get my coin back! It's just so cute to see him kind of go after Croco, and then it's pretty funny when they just beat up Croco, just over that single coin. But they do get someone's wallet back out of that, so, that was, a pretty funny moment, and there's definitely, like, other moments as well, but yeah, I like Croco. So Why Bother said Bazooka Toad. Yeah, Bazooka Toad is pretty funny. Yeah, because he wished he brought his bazooka, and I like that they kept this line in the remake. They kept so many like funny and chaotic lines in this remake. I mean, unfortunately, they did cut a few of them, like the Neo Squid enemy like designation, as well as the Bruce Lee reference, but at least Bazooka Toad was there, so I'm glad that was there. So yeah. So Fawful the Great 64 said, since the remake will be my first time playing through Super Mario RPG in full, the jury is still out on my favorite character in the long run, but I'm gonna currently give the very predictable answer of Geno. He's such a cool concept of a warrior being sent down from Star Road by a higher authority, who was so cool, super cool moveset with beams and stars. If they had been allowed to use them in future games, I have no doubt they would have connected him with the Star Spirits. Mallow also interests me though, a Cloud Prince who thinks he's a frog and also has a unique scenario and is based on what I know about it, I expect his arc to make me emotional. Plus, he is adorable. Yeah, like I said, both Gino and Mallow are great characters in general. And then Gino just kind of expands upon the concept of, or I guess kind of technically creates the concept of like the sentient star species, like I mentioned earlier. Um, but yeah, they absolutely would have used Gino more often if Square Enix didn't have the rights to him. It would, like, honestly, I feel like he could have been implemented into Paper Mario 64, when that game was Super Mario RPG 2, since that game deals heavily with the Star Spirits, which are implied to be Gino's higher authority. So, and then, yeah, I just think he's, like, pretty cool in general, like I mentioned. And then, Mallow, like I said, also, as I kind of touched on, the arc is great. And yeah, just Gino and Mallow are just great characters in general, and I really hope, after this remake, that they'll appear in more games. But yeah, anyways, those were the responses. There are quite a lot of really cool, interesting, and unique characters in Mario RPG that I really hope appear in more games in the future. So the next question is another question related to Super Mario RPG, and that is, what is your favorite special move in Super Mario RPG? And this includes all of like the magic type moves that use flower points, like such as Mario's jump, super jump, ultra jump, or Mallow's like Thunderbolt or Snowy, or Gino's like Gino Beam, Gino Whirl, stuff like that. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.